The paper we're diving into today is Life and Living Trilogy, Book 1, Who Are We? By Suresh Soni. And honestly, I feel like just reading the title makes you want to sit back and ask, yeah, who really are we? It tackles, I guess, that ancient, unshakable question. Who are we as human beings? What's our place in this universe? And, how do we understand life and all its messy layers?
Exactly. What struck me immediately is how Sony is blending science, philosophy, and cultural wisdom, sort of weaving them all together to explore, well, everything. It's not a book that tries to, answer the question of who we are, but more, it encourages us to keep asking. There's a humility to that. It's reminding us that, hey, academic research and even science itself, these are more like lanterns we carry as we stumble through the dark, not commandments handed down from on high.
Right, and the paper, or book, really, opens up with this idea that our grasp of the universe is actually deeply incomplete. Like, our scientific models are always shifting, our observations are limited by our senses, and so we're always playing catch-up. There's a tension between reality as it actually is and the reality we piece together through our own limited perception. Almost like, trying to imagine a rainbow if you've only ever seen the color blue.
And he gets into this whole thing about the observer and the observed, which honestly made me think of quantum physics, where the act of observing literally changes the outcome. Except Sony sort of extends that to everyday life. Like our minds, our language, they filter and shape every experience. We're not detached from the universe we study, we're within it, messing it up just by looking at it.
I found it fascinating how he draws on Eastern philosophies, like the concept of emptiness or sunyata, and, how everything is ultimately connected and essentially kind of empty. Not in a nihilistic way, but more as this deep interconnectedness and potential. Even space itself, he says, is less of a thing and more of a kind of primordial, holding emptiness, not to be filled, but appreciated for what it allows.
So much of what he writes comes back to this interplay between external reality and inner experience. It's almost meditative. He keeps coming to the present moment, as if, by being fully, honestly here, we can bridge some of that gap between what's out there and our internal world.
Which, kind of makes me think about, okay, this is a bit random, but how people zone out on long car rides. Like you're moving through space, but sometimes you're suddenly so aware of the now. It's almost like the universe gets a little clearer for a second. Maybe that's just me getting nostalgic about road trips.
No, I know what you mean. That sort of sudden clarity. That's the kind of reflection Sony encourages. And I love how he doesn't run away from contradiction. He talks about chaos and order, the relative and the absolute, science and spirituality, all being in a weird kind of dance. For listeners, I think what this means is, don't sweat trying to pin your world down with hard answers. Let yourself be astonished, be curious, and recognize that the process of questioning is maybe more meaningful than arriving.
I really like that. And it's also a gentle nudge to see, look, our daily lives, they're all tangled up in these cosmic questions. Seeking truth, living ethically, even just taking care of each other, is all part of the same tapestry. Sony's message isn't that we're insignificant blobs of matter, but that, if anything, we're participants in this ongoing, mysterious adventure.
So whether you're deep into science or just wrestling with the basics of being human, this work is, I think, an invitation to keep exploring and to find comfort in not always knowing, and maybe even to enjoy the questions themselves.
That's a good place to wrap up. Who are we is less a final statement, more an open door. Keep walking through it, keep wondering.